What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of RGTP. I am your host, Lewis, and with me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Mamba. Mamba, how we doing today, my guy?
Woo!
How we doing today,
Woo!
my guy? A little
Great.
insiders pre-show.
Honestly though, I had to turn my heater on today, so it's a fantastic day.
Whoa, in the Florida,
Yeah,
down
bro.
below,
It was
chilly.
it was pretty chilly this morning. It was great.
No way.
Fantastic. I love it. Yeah, 40s,
Oh
bro.
wow, oh wow, it was tough
Yeah.
out there, huh?
We getting there. We getting
Getting
there.
there. We are getting there.
I'm just
But of
ready for this
course, you know,
smacking.
it is time. We are here. The NBA season has officially tipped off last night. Our first slate of games. Warriors played, the Lakers played, the 76ers played, and of course, my Boston Celtics put on a nice little show for the
They
home
didn't just
crowd.
play.
You know what I
They
mean? So,
won.
what better place to start than in the NBA with the first game of the season, 76ers versus Boston. Boston takes the win, 126-117. From the as a Boston fan, I'll let you go first. From an outsider's perspective, how are we feeling about our first game of the season?
See, I may be an outsider, right? But there is like a little bandwagon in me for the Sixers. I always want to see Joel do good. I don't know why. It's been him and Ben Simmons, and then obviously the whole Ben Simmons thing happened, and they were like skedaddle. Celtics look so what? Like, yeah, Horford struggled, but you don't really maybe expect Horford to give you much during the regular season anymore. He's definitely more for, you need a big that's like more experienced, and he showed what he could do in the playoffs last year for the playoffs. Y'all bigs is hurting, bro. They hurting. Noah Vonleh extended minutes, and Luke Cornett when he comes back. That don't sound too great. And I think Williams is supposed to miss like half the season. I think they were saying.
Like 2 months, 3 months, 2 or
That's
3
tough,
months.
bro.
It is. It's gonna be tough. Absolutely. Hence why we brought in Blakey G. We brought in Noah Vonleh. We got
Blake Griffin is not enough.
I forgot who else we have on the bench. One of the young kids from I think it was Toronto. I don't know where we got him from, but I know he was in the league last season. But yeah, we're just trying to gain some chemistry right now. Even though we have chemistry, but we have to now mix in Malcolm Brogdon, who had a really good game last night. So that was obviously very beneficial. We're adding in these new pieces like a Blake, like a Noah Vonleh, just trying to get some sort of productivity out of these guys so we can figure out, obviously, when we hit the playoffs. It's all about, the top 7 guys on the team, 8 guys because of condensed rotation. Us right now is all worried about staying afloat right now without Robert Williams is pretty much our biggest thing. I like the way we look so far. Yeah.
How long before y'all send a second for Tice again?
I don't know.
It's gonna happen. I feel like it's inevitable. Y'all are gonna go back for Tice because y'all need help at the bigs.
But honestly, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Other than that, though, Celtics, they looked impressive.
Yeah.
On the flip side, the Sixers, there wasn't some impressive moments like Harden. He was efficient, 9 for 14, I believe, 5 for 9 from the 3. Maxey in the fourth quarter started heating up. My issue is Joel Embiid. That man, it literally was hard to watch this game because I was flipping. I had this game on, I had AEW on, I had NXT. Like, I had mad shit I was watching, right? So when I would look at the game, Embiid threw a turnover in that fourth quarter. His last turnover, I believe, that he threw, or his 5th turnover he threw. It was so... he just... the ball, and it gets... I was so livid, bro. Oh. Warriors in 5. Again. Shut up.
Doesn't matter who
Shut
they
up.
play.
Anyways, shut up.
Yeah. 76ers, it's definitely going to be like an interesting they're also dealing with some chemistry things, because James Harden going to stay. They brought in
it's
PJ
the
Tucker into the fold.
Rockets
they
with
brought
Maxey
in
Harris and Embiid.
Daniel House,
Yeah,
uh,
nah, for sure, for
Montrez
sure.
Harrell. Like they just brought in all of these
The
players.
Anthony Melton.
You know what I mean? They making all these moves, so it's definitely
Yep.
time for the 76ers to sort of see what they're made of. Tough
Yeah.
game, obvious loss. But yeah, this team is going to be carried as far as Joel Embiid can take them, and however much James Harden can sprinkle in to contribute to
A
this
little
regular season.
spoiler. I almost had them in my finals. I almost picked them, but I was like, I can't. They're gonna disappoint me. So I picked another two teams to disappoint me instead of them.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah. Now this game was a good game. We'll obviously see each other again, being in the same division.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'll see. And this might potentially be one of our playoff matchups when we look down the line. We might just have to deal with Joel and James Harden down the line in the future. Tyrese Maxey sprinkling it. It's a good team. It
Yes.
is a deep roster. Matisse Thybulle coming off the bench is like it's just
Yeah.
there's so many good players. Honestly, Trez coming off the bench. They got to figure
Daniel
some things
House.
out. They got to
Yeah.
figure some things out, obviously, like we mentioned with the chemistry. But the 76ers are definitely a legitimate team, legitimate MVP and potential second MVP, lurking in the background, depending on how good James Harden plays. But it's going to
Keep
come
that
down to that.
up.
It's
Shoot
gonna come
9
down
for
to that.
14. That's good. Stay efficient like that, Harden, please.
That's going to be the key on the Celtics. Chemistry also got to get our coach
Get some bigs
all
together,
together.
man.
Get some bigs. Get some bigs.
Like y'all's
We'll
G League
definitely
team should be nothing but
shut
bigs.
up.
Like
Run. Ask if we can get Bol to run point guard for
pretty
us.
much. Y'all just need nothing but bigs in there.
Tank for Victor. Tank for Victor. That is the new campaign. Tank for Victor.
Victor or LeBron? That's the question now. You want Victor or you want LeBron?
Nah.
Yo.
Nah. We'll take Victor.
We'll talk about Victor in the
We'll
coming
take Victor.
weeks, months,
Yes, of
probably
course, of
years,
course.
you know?
And yeah. Oh yeah, years most likely as long as he doesn't get injured. As we move on, the night game. The Golden State Warriors take on the Los Angeles Lakers and beat the
Shit about putting me
break
to sleep.
out of La La Land 123-105 Golden State. I'll take point on this one. I'll start with the Warriors. This is the team. This is Golden State. This shouldn't surprise anybody. We saw this last year. We saw this the season before that, and the season before that, and the season before that. When this team is healthy and all three of their big three is clicking and in all cylinders, and Kerr has everyone under wraps, this team's going to be tough to beat. And then you sprinkle in the youth that is Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole. My man James Wiseman was out there last night. I was so happy to see
I picked him up in one of
back
my leagues.
and healthy. Kaminga, Moody, like all these young guys and a mix of veterans, MVPs, some shooters. Super well-rounded. Super well-rounded. They have defense. They have offense, three-point shooting. They have a big man that could do a little bit of everything. They have a miniature big man in Draymond Green that could do a little bit of everything.
And knock your ass out if you get out of line, boy. Enforcer for real.
Really well-rounded Golden State Warriors team. Shouldn't surprise anyone. Like I mentioned, when this team is healthy and their big four, when you include Kerr in that mix, are all together. They're all on the same page. They're going to win games. This shouldn't surprise anybody. Not, spoiler alert, my team to come out of the West, but it won't surprise me.
Yeah,
it will not surprise me. Golden State.
They have the depth and they have the chemistry already built in.
Yeah.
Their entire team is pretty much the team that just won the championship. They swapped Otto Porter for DiVincenzo pretty much. Like that's like literally all they did, and they added Wiseman back. Moody
well, they lost
going to
Gary
be
Payton,
playing. Oh, but they're bringing in Moody, and, you know, like
the minutes that were leveled off.
Yeah,
they have to fill them.
Yeah, I hate them. I do. Just because they're going to be so good, and the team I root for being in the West, it's going to be rather difficult to knock them off. I hope they do.
Okay.
And they're not my team, no, because I'm not doing it. They don't need another one.
I'm dead.
But they probably will get another one if we being honest. Yeah. I'm gonna get on the voodoo, bro. I'm gonna take them out.
We got the Lakers in La La Land. Tough season last season. Tough regular. Well, honestly, for the last 2 seasons, it's been kind of tough right now for the Lakers since they came out of the bubble. It's been a little tough. Some tough sledding so far. Then the preseason came around. I believe they were 1-3, 1-4, something like that. Maybe bad.
Yeah, of
And
course.
then we start off this season,
With a dub.
and they look bad.
Yeah.
They look bad. It doesn't look like they can shoot. They don't got a lot going on. Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. Russell Westbrook has blamed his hamstring injury on the fact that he came off the bench.
I mean,
That is
it could
wild.
be. It could be though. Like he is used to starting and like being ready to go off rip and not being able to go off rip. You know, like there is some maybe legitimacy to it.
I ain't buying it.
But the first thing I thought was, what bullshit, bro? Like it was one of the wildest things that I read. But like I can see how it's possible, right? Like you are I'm trying to think. Not in tune, like it's a routine for you, right? His routine is he gets ready to go off rip.
Right.
And he was saying he didn't know how to stay loose. He didn't know like how to stay warm without, just cooling off. And like, I hear it. But let's be honest, man. You're gonna be coming off the bench. It looks like you and the younger players on that team are a little clique. You got Anthony Davis and LeBron, and I guess Pat Bev's trying to weasel his way into that one.
Kind of.
And then you see Westbrook off to the side with like Juan and AR, my bad. It's the Lakers, bro. If they are smart, they will not care about those picks anymore and trade them, And I get it. It's too unprotected first, and them being unprotected, it makes them highly valuable because where will y'all be in the few years? But if y'all want another ring, yeah,
With
probably
LeBron.
go add the best three-point shooter in the league, because he did like outpace Curry or whatever the stats say. And then you add Miles Turner, who can also shoot the three at big man. It solves their issue. And they just love the issue. And you have your solution, you just don't want to do it. You're going to have to pay to fix your team. Why not go get two younger players who shoot and are capable shooters? And we know they're capable shooters. Enough of the Lakers. They're a dumpster fire.
I hear the Lakers are not a great team. It's I don't know if it's gonna get better anytime soon. There's a good chance that it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
I hope it does.
But yeah, LeBron could look forward to passing Kareem, all-time leading scorer.
LeBron can look to getting traded for the number one overall pick.
No, he just outside of his contract and goes where Bronny goes. He'll be fine. Vet minimum for LeBron.
And guess what? The Lakers get fucked in the end still.
How funny is it if they get the number one pick?
Right. All right. We're done with them. They're not in my finals. No spoiler needed for that.
Spoiler needed. Agreed. As we move on, before we get to our finals prediction, we have some teams to watch. I listed a couple teams here. Just throw out some teams and some names, to get excited about this season.
I'm very interested to see if you have teams that when I looked at, I'm like, yes.
All righty. Let's start with a matchup for tonight. We got the Nets. We got to be honest. Nets are going to be an intriguing team to watch now.
Yes.
Fully healthy. We'll see in terms of that. Did some changing, obviously, over the offseason. Brought in some more pieces on the bench. The Harden trade will hopefully we'll get to see how much it's going to pan out now that Ben Simmons will actually be able to play. Kevin Durant's there. Kyrie Irving's there. No COVID restrictions, so Kyrie should be able to play. God forbid any time off he's needed or an injury. Kyrie should be slated to play about 65 games for, 65, 70 games, more or less, have a much bigger impact. So the Nets are one of 4 teams that I have written down right now. Mamba, how are you feeling about the Nets? Are they a team worth watching or getting up for?
I mean, it's always that disclaimer, right? Barring any foreseen happenstance,
Ambition
yes.
Trash.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely are, but they are.
He's a Rockets fan.
Probably some of the best trash you can have, to be honest. Kyrie, top. If he's playing, which he will be, top. Kevin Durant, top. Ben Simmons, he has his moments. All-star without scoring a lot.
Right.
You know, like
All NBAs, a couple
the
defense.
the Nets. The Nets team is very intriguing, and they have some solid pieces at depth. Their big man is lacking, obviously. So if they can figure out somebody to get for their center spot, for Nick Claxton to come off the bench, Ben to run your power forward, that'd be a solid team.
I like it. I like it. And their matchup for tonight is also a team that I'm interested to see how they playing out. The New Orleans Pelicans, a healthy Zion Williams, a healthy Brandon Ingram, and CJ McCollum all on one team together with some pieces like Devontae Graham, piece like Jonas
We don't
Valanciunas.
need to add Graham, to be honest.
You know, got some
Don't forget
pieces
about
coming.
Jose,
We got
Herb
Jose Alvarado,
Jones, you
Herb
know.
Jones. Yeah, I know. I forget
I,
they drafted one more kid.
Dyson Daniels,
Yeah, Dyson Daniels. They drafted some another.
Kyra Lewis, Kira
Yeah,
Lewis,
yeah.
and
They've
then
added a few pieces. They added a few pieces. Nobody that I was thinking of, but
okay,
I'll end up having.
okay,
I'll have to look at
Jackson
who it is.
Hayes.
No, no, no.
No,
I'll have to see. But yeah, New Orleans playoff team last season.
I feel like it's a small forward.
Added Zion this season, healthy
Yes,
anyways. Zion looks good. What do we think about New Orleans? Are they going to be pushing out of the play-in and actually claiming a top 6?
yes. This team with Zion coming back, man, averages 26 on 60% pretty much.
He's a
That's
buck.
fantastic. Adding it to CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. That's two scorers right there who can also
Yep.
handle the ball very well. Herb Jones playing that D. Playing that D. That's what he does. And then you got Jonas, who double sleeper for an all-star potentially because he puts up numbers like that. This Pelicans team, if everything goes right, I could see them in the Western Conference Finals. I really could. Like, this team to me just looks so good on paper.
Yeah, okay, I hear it. Yeah, and I think the person I was thinking of is Dyson Daniels, the
Okay.
6'7" kid out of the I believe it was G League. It was
Yes.
their G League. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So
And there's
I'm
high hopes for him too.
very interested in some of the pieces they made. But yeah, you touch on a bunch of points. You already have two guys that are easy 25 point per game scores. You add in obviously from the Steven Adams trades, Valanciunas down in the middle.
18 and 12.
Solid high end
come on,
double.
bro.
A high end
Yes.
double, very efficient. Don't know about all stars. It's a little tough out there in the West.
Oh yeah.
It's a little,
Oh yeah.
Ambition says he has to play a full season, not just the first couple months.
I think you're smoking crack, Ambition. What are you talking about? Jonas always plays, bro. He might not play full 82, but I'm pretty sure he plays the majority of the
So
season.
the way he plays the first couple months. So if he's hot, he gotta stay hot. That's what Ambition wants to see.
I think
Jonas
I
gotta
remember
stay hot.
last year us at All Star. Literally, I have this man written down because his numbers are looking more impressive than some people that made it in. Okay, Ambition, skedaddle, bro, skedaddle.
Yeah, Pelicans are going to be a very interesting team. Jumping back on over to the Eastern Conference, a team that has had some up and downs over the last 2 seasons. The Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, you see that? You see that? I knew.
Of course. From the Eastern Conference Finals down to missing the playoffs to now making a big blockbuster trade to add in DeJounte Murray, brought in Clint Capella a few seasons ago. Still have John Collins, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter.
Just paid him.
They got some pieces now. Some pieces. He slowed down. Jonas slowed down. He was on his fantasy team. So Ambition knows what he's talking about. But yes, the Atlanta Hawks with a brand new looking backcourt, a defensive mastermind, rebounding machine, facilitating machine, borderline triple-double.
Yeah.
All-star DeJounte Murray goes right
borderline triple-double.
Right next to Trae Young. When you add up all the points and all the assists, not just the point per game, leads the NBA in assist and scoring. When you average out, he is very healthy. He has been a very healthy young boy, which has been very good for him. He is very turnover prone though. That is the only thing with Trae Young. But he's gonna get you 30-10 He gonna give you a 30
with
10
about 5 turnovers.
with a couple turnovers, but he ain't gonna be afraid to pull it off from anywhere.
Right.
A lot of interesting pieces. Another team that if chemistry can get into full effect and this team is clicking on all cylinders, a lot kind of like the Warriors. They have some defense, they have some offense, they have some playmakers, they have a pretty decent bench. It's really going to be what is the next step for Trae Young. Yes, he was able to put on some amazing runs during the playoffs, but it's going to be that what is the next leap? The Luka leap,
He
the
got
Ja
to
leap.
catch and shoot.
It's crazy to say because the guy's a borderline 30-10.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
he is an absolute animal, but his size and ability to play defense, inability to play defense, is what sort of hinders him a bit. Curry, is always up there for steals. Chris Paul is always up there for steals. Like these guys find other ways to impact on the defensive side of the ball, and Trae Young right now is still just slightly missing that piece.
Yeah.
But it's a team, nonetheless, I'm excited to see.
I'm very excited for this team just because of the Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. I feel as though this may be a team that is a victim of, y'all have a lot of...
Are they Chicago this year?
I don't think they'll be Chicago, but I think early on there will be question marks about them. I don't think they're going to go, 0-15 against top teams or whatever they were.
Chicago had a seat.
They'll get the wins, but my concern is they may make a trade too early.
Ooh.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know shit. But, my feeling is Trae Young and DeJounte, they might struggle in the beginning, right? And then they'll figure it out eventually because they're both great players. But I think over the years, the whole John Collins and then I'm getting paid and then it's like, bro, you're not playing for us and you're injured. There's been a lot of trade talks on John Collins. I think we may see that trade happen.
Ooh.
We need to figure something else out because this ain't working.
Right.
And then they may come back to it we maybe should have waited a little bit. But yeah. Atlanta, I'd still see them in the playoffs because I do like that point guard shooting guard duo.
Very nice.
A lot. Yeah.
One more team for me coming out of the Western Conference. Let's keep it a little even there. I have the California Boys. Not the one everybody likes to talk about.
You see the color?
Boys in
Sacramento. You see the color? Yes,
sir. De'Aaron Fox, DeMontis Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell. I'm super excited for this team. Super excited for this team. It just sucks that they have been, poorly coached over the last few seasons.
Poorly ran over the past decades.
They do a lot with what the hell,
given
the veterans. They bring in a lot of weird players, but Rashawn Holmes. There's just a lot of pieces on this. I like the Kings, and I want to root for the Kings. And it's funny, uncoordinated, you do have purple on today, so that is pretty funny.
No.
Before I ask you about the Kings, Ambition has a question. It's funny enough, we're talking about the Kings.
Dude, I was literally,
Boogie Cousins. Real quick, Mamba, where can he play?
Who needs a center right now? The Lakers could always call him.
Again?
Yeah, they can call him. That's interesting because I did see that he had been I'm reformed. Y'all can sign me now. I'm good. I won't be as crazy. I liked him backing up Jokic. And I know the Nuggets, they may be looking at Zeke and Najee as that backup to him. But maybe Boogie with the Nuggets or the Trailblazers.
Wow, okay.
The Trailblazers just came to my head because Nurkic, he be getting injured a little too much. And their bigs in general be getting injured a little too much, so why not have Boogie as your backup?
Respect it. Golden State.
Get the fuck out.
Go back to Golden State. Go back to Golden State. Just do it. Just go back there.
Oh, don't.
Go back there. You got to guarantee 20-something minutes a night playing behind Wiseman. You'll be all right.
Yeah, Looney. They don't need
Looney and Wiseman have both
they don't need
over the last 2 seasons.
Okay, they don't need him.
I don't know what's next for DeMarcus, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah.
It sucks because the injuries stripped him away of A bag.
in that organization as well. They drafted a center, and then in the years after, drafted a center and a power forward. They never gave that man
Yeah,
any
but
help.
speaking of the Nets. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
totally slipped my mind. You right.
True.
You
True.
right.
That's a good one. But
Yep.
Kings. Speaking of the
I love
organization,
DeMontis.
how are we feeling? I know
I
that.
love
I know that.
DeMontis.
I know that.
Okay, so there was only a couple teams that actually caught my eyes when I was looking. When I was looking for a team, like who am I excited to watch? There was a lot of players
Right.
for teams where I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to watch him this year. And as much as I will beat the drum for the Kings, even though I shit on them all the time, I want to see them do good. I want to see De'Aaron Fox prove the haters wrong and be like, yeah, Tyrese is great, but remember, y'all have me, and
Yep.
obviously, Domantas Sabonis, all-star this year. He's back. He's back in there, okay? He's back.
Maybe.
Playing. They are a playing team, I believe. The pieces, Harrison Barnes, Keegan, that's a solid starting five of Fox, Herter, Barnes if he's the 3 or the 4, Keegan Murray if he's the 3 or the 4, and it's a bonus.
Yeah.
I know the defense might be a little iffy, but that's why you have the bench just come in and play all the defense for when you need the defense.
Right. No.
Simple as that. They'll be
We'll
in the play-in. Do they make the playoffs? It'd be cool, but probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. But if it's a play, one game,
Yeah, exactly.
You never know. But
Exactly.
I'm gonna lean
Let
on
the
the Bucks.
Montes
I
get
am
hot.
excited. I am
Get
excited.
hot. Yes.
If they have a potential pair of all stars and a potential rookie of the year lurking in the shadows. So it's a team I'm excited for. Mamba, any other teams that you want to throw out there that you might be able
The Timberwolves.
to see? Oh, I'm not.
Of course. It's the Timberwolves, bro. They have one of the most intriguing teams to me. I hope they're great. I really do.
I would have been like word until they added Rudy Gobert.
I hear. I think them adding Rudy. I know it's gonna get a little tough for them defensively in those playoffs when it's like, bro, we can't. But that's why you have Cat running the 5. That's why you have Rudy when they're going up against a team. Even though Jokic gives that man buckets, and people will still be giving him his buckets sometimes. You have him to come in to try and shut down that center. Try to shut down the person going off in the paint if there is one. The Timberwolves, I'm very excited for them. Just as a whole, D'Angelo and Kyle Anderson, like them adding him is very important.
I was all set.
Who was the other team? There was another team, but obviously didn't excite me enough for me to remember.
I hear it.
I'll stick with the Timberwolves, though.
Before we wrap up the NBA and move on to the RGTP NFL Power Rankings, we're going to drop our way too early NBA Finals predictions.
We gonna bias or no bias?
I will start by saying my Eastern Conference team leading the way is, of course, the reigning defending Eastern Conference champions. I got the boys in Boston, of course. That is not bias-based. But, yeah, I'm going with the boys in Boston. I got to go with my team. I want to lean, because I do want to lean the Bucks. Bucks are probably my low-key favorites to win, but I got to stick with my team. But I will say the Bucks are the biggest threat, obviously, to Boston. But as long as we don't get caught up in the email bullshit and stuff like that, and our season can get underway and we can just click and ignore all the bullshit and just play ball, we're going to be much better off. Much better off.
And I say bring on the bullshit. I got the Nets.
Oh!
I got the Nets. Let's go. And if they can add Boogie, that just helps me, man.
We got Bucks and Warriors.
Golden State, you're lame, Ambition. You were so lame, bro.
Andy. Wow. Nets for Mamba. Okay.
I'm giving them their healthy season. The whole off-season distractions was really just smoke. There really there was nothing gonna happen, and they just wanted everyone to think dysfunction, but really they're like this.
Really,
they are tight as fuck, bro. Yeah,
low key, they're actually
Nets.
fun. Wow. Yeah. Go ahead, give me a Western Conference team.
Clippers.
The Clippers. Now that was biased.
Of course. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
All
Only
right,
team
well,
I think pushing the Clippers, maybe the team you pick, is the Denver Nuggets. I think they're the only team pushing the
if
Clippers.
it's not Golden State, it will be the Grizz. Ja
Ambition,
Morant
put the
taking a
pipe
full
down,
lead.
bro.
All right. Well, Mamba, I got a surprise for you, buddy. My Western
You go the
Conference team
Jazz.
to lead the way into the finals. I have the Clippers.
Of course you do.
I
I
got the
know
Clippers.
you're secretly a Clippers fan.
I went full RGTP bias. I picked my team, and I picked
Yeah.
Mamba's team. But
Yeah.
outside of just being biased, I do think this is going to be the year that the Clippers finally make the leap
I hope
because
so. They gotta stay healthy.
they're going to be written off.
Healthy. Just stay healthy.
They're going to be they're already honest, they're
Please.
already written off on it.
You see what Shaq
Ambition,
said?
this is the front runner for
Yeah.
leading the way. Like
Bucks and
everyone
Golden
thinks
State,
it's
yes.
Bucks and Golden State. Then we'll obviously get the Lakers bullshit storyline, how bad they suck. We'll get the flavors of the month with Luka and Ja and all this other and Jokic MVP.
Luka could win
and blah,
MVP.
blah, blah. All this stuff leading forward. Ambition going as far as saying Ja Morant will be winning MVP. We're gonna have this man on the show for this.
Yeah,
we
we gotta make sure
Ambition scheduled on. Make sure he can actually see us and
give that
shit.
man a drug test.
But yeah, I think the Clippers are just gonna have that low key season. They'll probably be like a third seed, maybe a fourth seed, with how the season goes on and injuries and them not playing certain players. I think this team is going to be legit this year. I think
we need a backup center.
Finally, be the season where once the playoff starts, they get a first round sweep, and then people can be like, "Oh shit, the Clippers!" Like, how are we forgetting about the Clippers because we've been so enamored with Luka and Ja and Jokic and the Warriors?
Would you like me to tell you how it's really gonna go?
They're gonna lose
in round one. It's gonna be 2-1. They're gonna be rolling in game 3, and they're gonna win. They're gonna make it 3-1, and then the team's gonna come back, and it's like, oh my god, they're about to blow it, and then they're gonna go to the second round.
Horrible.
And we're just gonna run it all over again, and they're actually gonna blow that one because it happens every year, bro. Every year.
I hear that.
I hope it's different, but it's so hard to believe it's going to be different. Let's get on to football, man. Love the NBA. They got my blood pressure up right now because, man, I'm just thinking about the Clippers making me cry, man. No football? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, football time?
Of course.
He's busy, guys. Our fault, yeah.
Trey had asked me a question.
I don't give a damn what that man asked you.
Moving to the NFL.
Number 10.
RGTP power rankings, of course. Obviously, as previously stated before, every time we do this is more than just win and loss records. This, plays in a factor too. Obviously, your win-loss record. Who you beat obviously matters. You can't just beat up on trash-ass teams across the league. Who your coach is, who your quarterback is, your defense, all that stuff matters. Your rankings matter. Me and Mamba go back and forth. And we sort of just try to pick, who lies where. And the last few seasons, it's
going to be horrible.
Tough.
We're going to have at least 3 teams in the top 10 that eventually get smoked. Well, in the week,
Last week, we on our list we had Green Bay, they lost. Ravens, they lost.
Actually, I did not have Green Bay. I did not have Green Bay. Actually,
they lost. Cowboys, they lost. Kansas City, about 7 teams on last week's power ranking caught L's.
I'd say probably the only acceptable loss was the Cowboys.
God, it's so tough. But nonetheless, rolling into number 10, we got the 49ers. Banged up quite a bit. They missed 11 starters against Atlanta. Atlanta is not
terrible.
They're not a bunch of pushovers when it comes on offense because they're gonna move the ball up and down the field. They put up points against obviously Saints. To beat the 49ers. They put up points against the Saints. They put up points against Tampa Bay. Like, they move the ball. They make games rather interesting. But their defense just sucks. And they caught a lacking 49ers team.
I wish my team had an offense.
Bunch of banged up play. Yeah, will we get to your team? Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about your team.
We will not.
Give your team a brief.
No, we will not. Nope. No, sir.
But yeah, out, and then obviously George Kittle dropped touchdown. But moving down from our number 4 or 5 last week down to
Yeah.
number 10, losing some games. Health obviously is going to play a factor in that. But how are we feeling about the 49ers so far? 3-3. We thought
Yeah.
Trey Lance was going to take this team over the hump. And yeah, we know what happened with him.
Yeah. And then when you think Jimmy G is back and the man can't throw the ball more than 15 yards, apparently. It's terrible. It's tough. They get smoked injury-wise, It may be surprising that we had them here at 10, but they had,
It's
granted,
hard.
it was 14-point loss.
The
It
middle of the
seemed
pack is
like
tough.
the least, like worst team, I
They missed
guess.
11 starters.
Yeah,
11 starters. Like that. You are probably bound to lose.
I had the Bucks there, but they lost to the Steelers, who the Steelers have looked horrible, And then
Steelers
the
just got
Ravens. The Ravens, spoiler alert, not in the top 10 because they just blow lead after lead, and I couldn't do that,
They've had a 10-point lead in every single game that they've played, and they blew 3 of them
Three
already.
of them, exactly. Lamar,
Wild.
that contract, not looking too
Wild.
hot, bro.
That defense not looking
Not
too hot.
looking too
But
hot.
anyways,
Yeah,
49ers.
they're always going to be a solid team. It feels, and you could argue Bucks here because it was only a 2-point loss to the Steelers.
Yep.
Fuck them. I don't want them there.
They're dealing with too much right now is what it is. I feel like that is also something. Yes, of course, they're missing out their best tight end. Like, of course, they have really good pieces.
Yeah,
Great
Taysom
head
Hill's
coach.
#1.
Great. You wish you guys would
I
win some more
do.
games.
I really do.
If Taysom Hill was anywhere. But nonetheless, we're going to continue forward. As I said, we'll talk about your team a little bit because this team just beat up on your team. The Bengals
it was
coming
4
in
points.
at number 9. The Bengals' first appearance on the power rankings this season.
Yep.
And it's not, well, it is due to fault of their own, of course, because they lose in some games. But, Mamba, can you guess how many total points in the Bengals' 3 losses? How many points they've lost by? 3 losses.
They have 3 losses.
Yep.
My guess is 6 points.
Ooh, so close. They've lost by a total of 8 points.
2 field goals and a safety, man.
That's it. They are literally 3 field goals away from being undefeated.
Tough. That's tough.
3 field goals away from being undefeated, losing basically right down the wire, right at the end. But
so let me, I guess, okay, hold on. Would you rather the Bengals losses or the Ravens losses?
The Bengals losses because they're only 3-point games, and it's not because your defense is blowing 10-point leads. So I would much rather be 3-3 close games because that means at some point either next year, preferably somewhere down the line, week 10, 11, 12, those close games, we're going to start winning those. You know what I mean? So that's just where I'm at. It's obvious. AFC defending champions. Made it to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Boyd, Mixon, and a defense that has been playing really solid. Playing really solid right now. How are you feeling about Who Dey? Because they just beat the Who Dat.
I said they were going to win.
Who Dey. Yeah, whatever it was.
Who Dey beat Who Dat. All right. I said they were going to win.
Yes, you did.
Obviously, I wanted it for fantasy wise, and it didn't.
You guys put up a match. Y'all put up a hell of a game.
Yes. The Bengals, I don't like their head coach, bro. I know they. Yeah. No, he really don't because they were in the Super Bowl, right? And then obviously they come over and they got a little hangover and they got to figure out the chemistry. But you said it. They've lost close games after close games, and it's like, you were just in the Super Bowl, and that means you were winning the close games. So what are you doing differently now in the close games that you weren't doing last year when y'all were winning? And obviously that first game against the Steelers, 4 interceptions.
Yep.
Shouldn't have won it, Like, it should have been a worse loss.
Yeah.
But the team, they're great. They're LSU all over. Of course I'm going to love them.
LSU all over.
But they just – you got to spread the ball out more because it's like Higgins one game and then Chase another.
Yep.
Mixon doesn't really get his touches like you would want him to, and then they have Boyd and Hurst. He's looked really solid for him.
Yep.
But they gotta spread it out a little bit more to everyone, and maybe they'll start winning those closer games because the team won't know who to guard at that point.
Yeah. Now once the offense gets going and rolling, they'll definitely be able to figure it out. Mixon is like, at least for fantasy aspects, is really touchdown reliant. It's really like I gotta kind of get a tutty because the team's just gonna move the ball through the air. Yep. That's really how I have 3 wide receivers and a Hayden Hurst, a pretty decent tight end. I have 4 pretty good options. Move the ball. So I hear it. Mixon is sort of like a missing piece, especially considering he gets banged up every season just a little bit. He's going to be a key cog because if they can't run the ball and you're forced to throw, we're going to have that 4 interception game. We're going to have those
and potentially a 9 sack game. Because they still don't like to protect him.
Very That's good ridiculous. Point. So it's going to be the Bengals right now ironing things out little by little, nonetheless. But
getting there. They're getting there.
Move on. Another team making our power rankings for the first time this season. After some busted up ribs and losing his wide receiver 1, Justin Herbert and the gang continue to climb up the list. Chargers in at number 8. We've been over their offseason acquisitions multiple times.
Yes.
Not a lot to be said about that, but this team's finally looking like it's heading in the right direction. Yes. Heading in the right direction. We obviously saw as mentioned, the broken ribs for Herbert, all fucked up, had him banged up, lost a tough game to Kansas City that they almost won.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, but they're here now.
Who's their other loss?
Brandon Staley. They lost to. That's a good question. I literally was just looking at this not too long ago. I forget who they lost to.
Was it at least a competent team? Do you remember that?
Did they lose to Jacksonville? Did they play Jacksonville? They beat Jacksonville 2 weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure they.
I can't remember.
I don't remember if they beat Jacksonville or not, bro.
I do not remember if they beat Jacksonville or not.
Was the Chargers the second win for Jacksonville, bro? It was Indiana.
Beats me.
I don't remember now. I know Herbert had a bad game.
They lost to Kansas City and Jacksonville, yeah.
Wow, Jacksonville. That
was the 38. Tough loss. That was the 38-10.
That's a tough loss.
That was the Jacksonville game. That was the first game after the broken ribs. Yes.
Yes. They are finally looking like the team we expected. I think that's really, that is really like all there is to say. They are finally starting to look like what we thought, and they're still getting pieces back, integrating them. Mike Williams had a crazy catch yesterday. 2 days ago, whatever day it was. Days are all jumbled up. Chargers could be scary if they continue this. They could be very scary, but it just comes down to that head coach again. He's got to make the right calls. He's got to make the right call. And if he don't, instead of a tie, you're sitting at home. That's what it comes down to. The head coach is not – we see the Broncos. And we've heard all about that head coach, and that I think it's coming down to head coaches now, and not just the people on the field. Obviously, it's come down to that, but the players are the ones that usually get the brunt of it because they're the ones playing. The head coach got to be a mastermind now, though.
I hear it. I hear it. Obviously, everything from their last season was essentially just blamed on Brandon Staley and his inability to coach and manage these accounts, analytics, yada yada. Oh, Big Nips, thank you for joining us. You guys can't stay long running home to work. Oh, go to the Jazz games. Nice.
Hey, good luck. Go Sexton.
Enjoy. Truthfully enjoy. Appreciate you stopping by. And before you dip out, look who's our number 9 team. In case you missed it, we put your Bengals up here. You got your Bengals up here. But nonetheless, Chargers, enjoy your game, Big Nips. Chargers, yes. Brandon Staley got to get it together. They have one of the better offensive weaponry, obviously with Herbert, Eckler, a healthy Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Everett's looking really good. Joshua Palmer's looking pretty decent now, getting a few catches. There was one of the guys that was signed on to be a special teamer that he was throwing the ball to, number one. I can't remember his name. They had mentioned that he was basically picked up to be a special teamer, and he's emerging as a surprising target. So this team got
Nice.
pieces. They got pieces. Khalil Mack's been on a tear on the defensive side of the ball. J.C. Jackson's getting burnt a little bit this season, but coming back off of injury and stuff, we'll have to see how that pans out. And of course, he'll be facing all the wide receiver ones. Asante Samuel looking good. Derwin James looking good. Gonna be a nice
A
roster.
demon's about to break through my door, bro.
It's gonna be great to see. I am dead. But yeah, moving on. Another team that just cracked the top 10 for the first time this season, at least my top 10. Mamba had them in at number 10 last
South
week.
Smart.
And now
Packers,
he got the faith, he got the hope. We got the rolling.
And this is where it just falls off it's
the
about
Jets. The Jets.
Yes, sir.
Got the Jets. And this is one of the teams that we actually agreed on to put here at number 7. We had, obviously a little bit of a differences here and there, but we mainly see the game the same. Usually our list only off, a couple placements here and there, 1 or 2 teams are flip flop here and there.
Yeah.
But we agreed. Lucky number 7 for the Jets. Brees Hall's rolling.
Lucky at all.
Garrett Wilson had a nice couple of games to start the year.
There you go. Start the year.
Back. Zach Wilson is back. The defense has been pretty solid so far. We're starting to see this team on paper be healthy, just terrorizing Green Bay last week, 27-10. The Jets.
3-game win streak.
Jets.
The past 2 games, they won by 40 combined points, bro.
That's
insane.
But
it comes down to Saleh, their head coach. He's got them working, and they show we've sucked for so long, and we're tired of it. And this year for football has been so insane.
It's been crazy.
There's 19 teams that are 3-3 and above.
Yeah.
You're right. 20 teams 3-3 and above, and everyone else is 2-4 and under, obviously.
The top 4, 5 teams are sort of set, and then everyone else
is 3-3, bro. That's why you saw the 49ers
so
at
close.
10. But the Jets are 4-2. Let me say that again. The Jets are 4-2, and I think their over under was 5.5, bro.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
5.5. Is this the Bengals, bro? Is this the Bengals this year?
That would be fucking
Zach
wild.
Wilson got injured. He comes back.
Wild.
They're rolling, bro.
No shot in hell.
Almost just all right. Gotta calm down. The Jets got me excited. They running the ball really well. Obviously, passing isn't their strength. I've felt that the hard way.
Passing to Wilson the last few weeks for you.
Atrocious. That man will not start for me for the time being. All right.
40 pieces.
But that defense, Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, who he's yelling at people a few games ago, and now this man's half a sack in every game, blocking a field goal. Man is rolling. He is that. Whatever he brought him to. Nah, we forget what he did at that airport, right? Was it an airport? Oh, well. The Jets are going to make the playoffs, it feels. But probably not. No, I'm messing. The Jets look really great, though, and I wish my team had their record. Pretty much as it is. I wish my team had their record, bro.
Aren't you guys 3-3, though?
We are 2-4.
Guys are 2-4.
We are worse than the Jaguars, bro.
Yikes. And
we don't have our first round pick.
It's been
the Eagles do.
It's been interesting. Y'all lost, Juice for a little while. Lost Winston. Lost Michael Thomas again. Alvin Kamara. You guys are a little beat up.
Yeah.
Beat up.
Hey, Ambition, you got that pipe, bro? I might need it.
Beat up a little bit in the bayou, but
the Jets,
rolling,
not my team.
Rolling forward. Number 6. Still here.
Number 6.
After a loss. The Cowboys still got a lot of fight in them. Got off to an ugly start to the game. I believe they was it 20-3? I think it was 20-3.
I think so.
At one point, the Eagles were just beating the brakes. 17-0 for sure. I'm pretty sure. But nonetheless.
Oh yeah, I think you're right on that one.
they were getting the brace beat out of them, and then Cooper Rush and company fought back hard
Zeke.
and
Zeke had a
valiantly.
rushing touchdown. Holy
Zeke had the
shit.
rushing touchdown. This defense still looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
Obviously, right into one of the better offenses in the NFL, in the Eagles, but it was not without their fair share of swinging the punches. Cooper Rush is trying his best as a backup. Obviously, the story right now is him or Dak. Is he better than Dak? Dak's coming back. Yada yada yada. QB controversy has
Gotta love it.
dominated
Gotta
the
love it.
storylines. We started with Mitch and Kenny Pickett.
Kenny and
Now we're
Mace.
talking
Yep.
about Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones. Now we got this. A lot of QB
Bailey
controversy
Zappi,
going
bro.
on.
That's the second coming of
Listen,
Tom Brady right there.
every goddamn day that the last few weeks that I've walked into work, I keep
You've been
hearing
very
about
happy.
this shit.
You've been very happy.
I've been okay,
The Cowboys though,
but the Cowboys QB
I
controversy and
almost
all.
put them top 5. I almost did simply because of spoiler who is at 5. It's that team's only loss is why I wanted to put the Cowboys there, right? But fuck them. I do what I want, bruh. Fuck them. Nah, it's the controversy, right? Dak or Cooper.
Yep.
Cooper looks solid. He looks solid. He looks good. I think you gotta go Dak though. You gotta go Dak when he's healthy.
No Dak, no Dalton Schultz on the
running back, yeah. Adding Dak will add an extra dimension to the offense. That can be a little bit more mobile, so maybe that opens up for Tony or even Zeke to get going on the ground more. It's the Cowboys though. I don't expect much out of them. But congrats to being number 6.
They're up here. They were up here last 2 weeks, honestly. They've been bouncing around. They've been a competitive enough team. Defense has been solid. We talked about potentially having the defensive player of the year, Micah Parsons.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the QB controversy is what's really going to need to be figured out. If this team can get it together and they can get it rolling and the offense can catch up to the defense,
Scary
they're going to
times
be a
in
tough.
the NFC.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs if they make it that far. Or obviously dwindling down the season, those last 3 or 4 games, the Cowboys might be a team you do not want to see high scoring offense in the NFL last season. If they can just get back to some of that, obviously no Cooper, no Michael Gallup's been banged up. Michael Gallup's officially back again, so we'll see how that goes. But if the offense can catch up to the defense, Cowboys are going to be a very serious team. As we move onward. Number 5 to start the top 5, jumping up from number 8 last week. The team whose downfall we have been preying on the last 2 weeks now.
We are some haters, bro.
The Giants are here proving everybody wrong.
Man.
Sitting at 5-1?
Yeah.
What? Back-to-back wins over Green Bay and Baltimore. They're beating good teams. They're beating good quarterbacks. Is Daniel Jones legit? Were we writing off Daniel Jones a little too early in the offseason?
I think Brian Daboll was legit, for being honest. I think this man's got this offense. He obviously was like, yo, they don't expect nothing from us. Saquon, you were high last year, but everything about Saquon
Best running back in the NFL at the moment.
Can he get back to what he was when he was drafted? It's looked pretty damn impressive.
Best running back in the NFL this season.
Daniel Jones said it last week. He is a safe quarterback. He will be the best backup quarterback potentially, right? Like that. It's just that's his game. That's his game. But there's money in backup quarterback. Look at Chase Daniels, right? Like there's money in being a backup. Look at Osweiler, even though they paid him to start, he was yikes. But the defense is solid. The offense is solid. The best thing about this Giants team is the fact that they take those games where they're down 10 and they come back to win. The exact opposite of the Ravens. In I think it's 4 games this year, they're 3-1. Yeah. In games that they're losing by 10 at any point.
We were just talking about that stat.
Exactly. They were 3-47 from 2017 to 2021. And they're 3-1 this year. That's fantastic. That's improvement you want to see when the roster pretty much stays the same. I'm giving this to Daboll. The team is solid, but Daboll has gotten them to that step where it's like, wow, we can actually win games. We're actually competent.
Yeah, they don't think outside of that stat, another crazy stat. If I remember correctly, they don't even have a wide receiver with over 200 receiving yards
That's ridiculous.
in 6 games.
It makes
They've all
sense,
been
though.
injured and banged up and all this other shit's been. They don't even have a wide
Yep.
receiver with 200 receiving yards yet. Wild stat. And they're
I did
5-1.
I did see that they called about Claypool, though.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they have some guys. They just, random
Yep.
injury to
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard, running down the sideline. Kadarius Toney being banged up now is really random. And then whatever.
We don't need to speak on that. We don't need to speak on him. Yeah.
We know the guy.
They gave him too much money. Yeah.
A bag.
Yeah.
Penny Galladay over there not doing a damn thing.
Making that money.
Terrible.
He making that money.
But nonetheless, they're getting this shit done. 5-1.
Yes.
Defense, best third down defense in the NFL. They're just getting shit done. Honestly, they're just getting shit done. Moving on.
I wish my team would get shit done.
Number 4. The team that we have, had up on the rise since last season. Jumped up on the season, the bandwagon a little bit preseason. You're rocking their purple with the LSU symbol from one of their key guys.
Yes, sir.
For Patrick. The Minnesota Vikings up here. Kirk Cousins got all the chains on. He feeling nice. Only loss being a primetime game to the Philadelphia Eagles, who you guys will see
everyone loses to them.
You guys will see where we have them ranked in just a bit. But the Minnesota Vikings are here. There's not too much to say. Obviously, we've talked about Minnesota a few times. How are we feeling about the Vikes season? Is it more of a shock that they've been this good and they're leading the way? Or is it more shocking that a team like Green Bay is sort of feels like they're falling off a little bit?
I don't think either's shocking, really. Okay. Like, when we came into this year, there was hopes of the Vikings being this good.
Yep.
And when the Packers came into this year after trading Devontae Adams and not drafting a wide receiver in the first round or, not trading for a wide receiver in the first round.
His first passing touchdown to a first-round draft pick was to Mercedes Lewis. I think the game against the Pats.
That's awesome.
The 38-year-old Mercedes Lewis.
He had to have thrown him a touchdown last year, though.
No.
There's no way he didn't throw a touchdown.
I swear to God, that was the stat that played whenever he
No, that's terrible, bro. But, I mean, that also goes to show, even if you're not a first-round wide receiver.
We talking about Jet? Justin Jefferson ambition? Let me know in the comments. Continue.
We are, because he went to... Oh, logo's over here.
Logo.
Beard. Yes, sir. Well, titty.
Titty.
What was I saying? I don't even remember. The Vikings offense is great. That's why they're here at 4. The Packers suck. That's why they're not here at 4. When this team showed that the Vikings were 9-1, right? That was their odds of winning their division.
Yep.
And I literally said in the PlayStation party, anybody wants to make a bet right now? The Vikings 9-1 is pretty good. Literally said it out loud. And they go on to win back-to-back weeks. And it's just making that statement look even better.
Justin Jefferson, number 1 wide receiver until DeAndre Hopkins comes back, according to
I can't deny that. Because DeAndre Hopkins is a different monster at wide receiver.
There's a lot of really good wide receivers. Young and old and dwindling in the middle, truthfully. But yeah, Minnesota out here leading the way in the North right now. Not, spoiler, our highest rated North NFC team, but number 2 is not a bad spot. Leapfrogging teams like the 49ers, Green Bay, the defending champion, the Rams,
the Bucks,
the Saints. There's all types of teams out there that are good. The Saints being one of them that almost beat them in London if it wasn't for a missed field goal. But we're going to talk about it.
I hate them, bro. But there are too many heartbreaks against the Vikings, bro.
Nonetheless, Minnesota up here doing their damn thing. As we reach the top 3, it is the same three teams in our top three that have dominated the top three since we started the power rankings a few weeks ago. But there is some shakeup. There is some shifting. In at number 3, finally being dethroned, Kansas City drops to 3. Obviously, losing to Buffalo was going to do that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Eagles winning was going to do that, as you guys will see in just a little bit. But Kansas City comes down to number 3, probably and arguably still the best team in the AFC, at least for this week. Not right now as of this Wednesday. We'll come back next Wednesday and we'll debate that. But as of right now, they're the second best team in the AFC. They still got they still got the it. I don't know what the it is, but I guess it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Yes.
They just make shit work. They're going to put up points. They're going to move the ball. They're going to do everything. Kicking has come down to being an issue. They had Reid kicking. Buckner was gone. Now he's back. So we'll definitely have to see how all that pans out. But this team's going to be fine. I think everyone over-exaggerated in the preseason, as if Tyreek Hill was the offense. It was a good portion of the offense. But at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is that offense. And whatever the hell Andy Reid schemes up to get these guys open and make all these outstanding plays, they're using that Watson guy. I don't understand. They just have so many different wide receivers. Sky Moore isn't even doing anything crazy yet.
I knew Juju was going to go crazy this week, though. I literally called it last week because I needed him to have
has been a little shaky. MVS hasn't had anything going crazy, but him and Sky Moore are going to be relevant at some point. At some point, they're going to start using these guys. Justin Ross being picked up, obviously being injured. I don't even know if he's going to play this season.
I don't think he is. I think they've already shut him down.
Yeah, I know it's, but they just have all these different pieces that we've yet to fully see fleshed out and be good. Sky Moore is going to be potentially really good. MVS, once he stops dropping the fucking ball, will be an absolute problem.
He's done that since Green Bay.
I know that, but
he's not.
Travis Kelce and every wacky ass play that they snap from the no look, the underhand, the behind the back.
Oh yeah.
Tight ends taking it under center. This offense is totally fine. Totally fine offense.
It was the Bills who they lost to, people. It was the Bills. And it wasn't even like it was a blowout. It was 24-20.
It was a very close game. It came down to essentially the last throw of the game.
Exactly. So, no real drop-off. Let's get it rolling. Number two,
because there's not a lot to explain in these teams, because these teams are up here for a reason. You guys should have already heard this all week long. Buffalo Bills come in at number 2, climbing up from number 3. They were sitting at the number 3 team for the last few weeks. They moving on up. Travis hinting under. Yes, I did see Jason and Travis Kelce talking on their little podcast that they got about potentially bringing in Odell Beckham.
If they get Odell, bro. Oh my God. You want to hear something funny?
If he's healthy.
You want to hear something funny before we get to the Bills? I saw that report about him going to the Chiefs, so I immediately went to go see who has Odell in our league. Guess who has Odell in our league?
In our league?
Yeah.
What the hell is his name? It's fucking Hokies. It has to be.
No, it's not Hokies. It's that bitch in the comment.
It's Ambition. Oh my God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's been sitting there waiting for this, man.
Fuck Ambition.
If Odell goes to the Chiefs, bro. All right, Bills. This offense. Yeah, he knows. The Bills offense, high-powered, stupidly powerful. They got Diggs, they got Davis, they got McKenzie.
Yeah, fuck Davis.
Yeah.
That man is wild.
Yeah.
He's either just not going to play and do anything, or he's going to have 3.
Everything.
I don't understand.
He's going to do nothing or everything.
I don't
pretty
understand
much
that
this man.
shit. But
yes.
Yeah.
There are reports that they're trying to make this offense even more dangerous, with Christian McCaffrey. And if that happens, the Chiefs better get Odell. The Chiefs better get Odell so they have a chance. But their defense is good. Poyer hired a car service to drive him 15 hours to the game because he couldn't fly because of a broken rib or something.
But he can play absolutely fucking wild.
Whatever. And then he had to drive another 15 hours back because he still wasn't cleared,
I don't. That's
toughness, though. That's what you want to see. Sometimes it's you don't need to play. But this was a game where Poyer was like, I have to play. It's the Chiefs. We have to make a statement. And they did. They won 24-20. Obviously not like the playoff game as a lot of people wanted, myself included, because I love seeing points scored left and right. Sorry, defense, but it's fun. It's fun to see touchdown after touch. I didn't say the defense couldn't get a touchdown either. Y'all can get involved on the touchdowns. The Bills, though, they're here because they're better.
White, I can't remember if he's played a game
I don't
and
think
then
so.
was like banged up and didn't play again, or he played a couple snaps. I feel like I heard he was back, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah,
but,
I know he needed at least 6 weeks, I believe, when I was reading the beginning.
I wouldn't be surprised. And that's another piece of the defense. They're going to get one of the
exactly.
They're going to get a top 5 when fully healthy, a top 5 corner, or we'll see what he turns into. Obviously, coming off of an injury, but nonetheless, their defense is only going to get better.
Exactly.
With the potential of making a trade to get Christian McCaffrey and making this offense that much better. Which I'm not going to lie, I don't want to see it.
If you're the Bills, though, right? If
I'm
you're the
Pats
Bills,
fan, so I don't want to see it. But if they get Christian McCaffrey, God,
are you willing to give up your first round pick?
Duh.
Because it's going to be the 31st overall pick. Potentially, obviously. How many would you give up though if you're the Bills?
I'll give you 2.
2. First and a second, first and a third.
That's it. I'll give you a first and a third. Because McCaffrey hasn't been healthy enough. The first enough should be incentivized.
True.
To be
they did say a high pick or multiple picks. So
I'll give you a 1 and a third. Because fuck them picks. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I'm Buffalo, fuck them picks. I'm gonna have Josh Allen for the next decade. I'm gonna have fucking running back by committee regardless.
Yeah.
Once he comes, if he gets injured, I'm gonna have running back by committee. I have Singleton, I have Moss, I got Cook. Like I'm gonna have running back by committee. I'm gonna have Diggs for a couple years. I have a nice defense. I got Mike Milano. I got Von Miller for at least another this season and maybe one more season of truly high level play until he starts, starting to slowly decline. But we're gonna be rocking and rolling for at least the next 3 seasons if I'm Buffalo. So fuck them picks. Fuck a third.
I agree. I agree.
With that roster, I would do it. I wouldn't even hesitate. That's maybe even a second. I might even throw in the second goddamn pick. I'm gonna give you a first and a second. Make my roster godly.
Would you rather first round pick or a second and a third?
I would want the second and the third just because, and it definitely. All right. Depends on where the first falls.
Yeah, I mean, it's Buffalo. It's Buffalo. Obviously.
Yeah, then I want the second or third. I want the chance of hitting on 2, not bona fide studs, but if I can hit on 2 solid starters, and then in 2-3 years from now, it projects to being a great, they project to be great.
Right.
That's a different story. But I'm taking the possibility of hitting on 1 or 2 over the pretty much 1 bust, and we've seen that over the years across sports. Just because you're a number 1 pick doesn't mean shit. Or your first round pick doesn't mean shit.
No matter where you get picked, it don't mean shit.
Exactly.
But the number 1.
The undefeated flying high.
Of course.
The Philadelphia Eagles, the only undefeated team in the NFL. Looked great against one of the NFL's best defenses in the Cowboys until they
Do they have a weakness?
Drop off. Yeah, it seems to be, if I'm being honest, maybe they're.
See, you don't know this team.
It's not that they have a weakness or anything that's glaring. Like, you could say for your team, offense.
It's everything.
You know what I mean?
We're a terrible team.
You could, for me, I could say obviously it's wide receiver. Our offense, our wide receivers, we don't got shit. For them, it's more so of who's the guy. Sort of, they don't have a definitive, because we haven't seen AJ Brown just steamroll everybody
since the first game.
You know what I mean? He's had his moments in his games, of course. We've seen Jalen Hurts have his moments and his games. We had Hurts not throwing TD. You know what I mean? Like there's a few different, it's nothing. It's more so of a nitpick than what a major weakness, because they have arguably the best offensive line in the NFL. They have had one of the best running games in the NFL dating back to last season. So who the leading running back's going to be? Because all we ever heard was stay away from Miles Sanders. Boston Scott's back there, and Hurts takes off and runs. So it's more so of who's going to be the guy on that offense that is more so of their weakness. But when you just have a team that, especially an offensive line that can keep your quarterback upright and he can make some throws, you got some nice passing options when you got Dallas Goedert, You got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, and you have
Quez
a running
Watkins.
back by committee where they can break off and run, and
Yep.
they can get you some big plays. We saw Miles Sanders breaking off some big runs against the Cowboys, obviously, and the defense can make plays. Big play, Slay, Darius, James Bradbury,
Chauncey.
you know what I mean? Hassan Reddick, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Hargrove. Like, they have so many pieces. It's not like they have any glaring weakness. It's more so that you kind of have to nitpick to be like, oh, they're not that great at this, and that. But when you look at paper, they're undefeated. They're winning early games. They're winning 1 o'clock games, 4 o'clock games, night games, primetime games. They're winning games. They're winning games.
No, I think you said it the best. Like, I literally asked if there was a weakness because when I think about this team, when I watch them, that game against the Jags, it started off horrible. Like, I think they were down 14-0, and then they just rattle off like 29 straight points unanswered. Right. And then at the end of the game where they're like, yeah, we got this, there's a garbage time TD from the Jags, So it's like, okay, that game was actually pretty better than the way I just said it because, like, the Jags almost. But, you get the point, right? Yeah. Like, the Eagles really just, they look a cut above everyone else.
Even Sirianni's out here.
Yeah, even with, like, the Bills and the Chiefs, the Eagles, I know they've been our 2, but the Eagles, they just, they'll probably be number 1 for a little while, it feels like.
If they lose and Buffalo wins, I don't know. We got to wait and see.
True.
But that's going to do it for us here at RGTP. It has been a pleasure. Tune in on Friday. We're going to talk some wrestling. We got some AEW news. Hangman is okay. We'll talk more about that and what's going forward.
The Viter's gone.
Fucking guys, the Viter's gone. Fuck this guy. We have the main event for Full Gear has already been announced. MJF versus Jon Moxley. We have we'll obviously break down the head-to-head Dynamite versus NXT. NXT's Halloween Havoc is this Saturday, so we'll drop some more predictions for that. We'll probably have Matt
Ambition, you gonna join us, huh? You gonna join us?
We'll probably get Matt on the show for our usual pay-per-view predictions. Maybe we'll get some Ambition sprinkled in, get some of the old head love up in here. Yeah. And then obviously Wednesday, be back here, 6 o'clock. We'll be back at our regularly scheduled time. More RGTP power rankings. Yes, sir. RGTP power rankings will be updated, of course. Basketball is among us, so we'll be dropping some more of that. We'll start getting our basketball guests in and onto the show to start figuring out what they feel about their teams and who they think and who
Let
they
us know what y'all feel about your teams.
You know what I'm saying? So that's going to do it for us. Mamba, let the folks know what they got to do.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, notifications on. And have a great day. Morning, evening.
Fuck Ambition.
Be gone.